right-size washer and stuff, and I was building something. And anyway, I learned from you. You told me your story then, and I learned from you a really important thing that helped me through a really difficult ordeal that I just went through. I'm wondering, in your own experience, how often what could be easily called coincidence, and I don't know how to ask that, but is that a factor in your life, that
Yeah.
just the right person at the right time seems to be there, and
Yeah.
what do you make of that?
I'm writing a book. Because it doesn't matter. Like, I act as if everything happened for a reason, that I shouted for joy and volunteered for it because it's so awesome. And my response to sitting next to someone on a plane, it doesn't matter if that was coincidence. I get the most possible good out of that interaction that could happen. Everything bad that happens to me, I am looking for the nugget of why the heck would I have volunteered and shouted for joy for that happening. I find those nuggets. I make those nuggets. And so it is irrelevant whether it really happened or not, that I believe any of that. But that quest and believe that it's actually there, that there is a reason for shouting for joy for whatever this is, and good enough that I would have volunteered for it, transforms every response in an incredible way. And so I tried that mindset on after reading about that guy's dream, and it was like standing in front of the mirror and going, hair loss sucks, to, oh, well, I'm one of the brave ones who was willing. Whoa, wow, you're a Marine. So it transformed me from a sad feeling to, oh, well, there's a positive there, and I transformed it. And so it is so powerful that I have to get a book. So you really need to try it on, because every interaction, even I'm stuck in traffic. Why did I shout for joy for this? Or maybe there was an accident up there, time for an audiobook. There must be a nugget I'm going to get to listen to today that I really needed. But you're seeking in every interaction, in every response, this is muscle ripping, this is what I need for that future thing, and so you make the most of every possible thing that happens.
I just want to thank you for teaching me that several years ago. It's made a huge difference.
You've had a rough journey, falling off a ladder and breaking your neck and being in the hospital for weeks and months.
Actually, it's a blessing, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. I've learned so much from it.
Yeah. And that quest for why would I shout for joy for this? I'm trying to figure that out and asking that question, but believing there's answers and then making those. Like losing my son, I am on a quest to get as much on that side of the scale as I can get. And so that I can get there, and when I see him again one day, we can shout for joy that it happened. But if I don't, and I'm like, this is happening to me, this is bad, those kids, we're going to go beat up those kids that bullied my son, that gets nothing shout for joy. Yeah, question?
Since we're on the subject of books, sort of, I'm a book reader, and I know that you mentioned the book, Innovator's Dilemma.
Yeah.
Are there any other books that you would suggest, maybe that would be good reads for us, or things that maybe would help us to, I guess, feel more motivated in our endeavors?
More motivated in your endeavors.
Or I guess how to handle them better?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've got a list, and if you email me, I think, mel@asirobots.com, I can get you the list. I'm too nervous in front of all these intimidating, brilliant kids to rattle the list off, but there's some great ones out there. Effective Executive by Peter Drucker. How to Win Friends and Influence People is something you should read every year. There are what's the scaling one? Scaling Up. Scaling Up is a great one with very practical tools and templates that helps. Scale is a book that's great. There's lots, but I can share you a list if you email me that are kind of the ones that were relevant to my journey that made the most impact on our journey. Great question.
This will be the last question, by the way.
Yeah, in the back.
I don't need a microphone. How do you balance ASI with family life?
Ouch. Unfortunately, I have a witness here, so it's very hard to tell you a brilliant story that's not true. So, I think one of the big ones is getting your mission, vision, values right so that you can delegate. And so this year, I have been able to turn over a large part of the company so that I do have more time. And once you get that in place, those values, like if I have my engineering teams rating their manager and I have the customers rating my manager, then I don't have to be there. It's a self-controlling perpetual engine that goes. If there's an exception, I can see that. I'm talking to him every quarter as I read all of the comments from his people, from his customers. Then he can go, and he knows the kind of decisions, the priorities in those decisions. People over profitability. He knows that. He doesn't have to come and ask me. I don't have to be there making sure that he's making the right decisions. And so you have to identify the values and the principles. And once you've done that and get that into the DNA and everyone understands them, you don't have to be in the day-to-day operations. And so I've been able to pull out of that largely. I've been able to turn over day-to-day operations and just work on those world domination funding projects and really working on the DNA. So how do I get our story as far as the values better articulated? How do I get it more into the DNA? So we're writing an ASI Way book right now that they can all have at their desk. And our partner who bought the 34%, that's one of the great things we learned from them was the value of a book like that that explains who we are, what's important to us, what is our strategy, how do we feel about people, and so I'm working on that book right now. So that helps take the pressure off if you truly get that ingrained in the DNA. Also, when I do travel, taking my kids with me, and so I've been able to take kids on trips and get that bonding time with them, and that's helped Reagan. Have I lied yet, and are there any better answers that I haven't? Score on 1 to 10, how am I doing? She doesn't want to lie. She's going to go with awesome. All right, thanks so much, guys.